1 minute. Hope all the participants have joined for the second session. So after the break. Now welcome all the participants for the day 4, session 2, for the 5 days ACT training and learning ATAL sponsored online faculty program on lean manufacturing in Industry 4.0 scenario. Now on the day 4 for the session 2, we are with us Dr. VMM Tilak, Associate Professor MIT Coimbatore, is going to deliver a lecture on Industry 4.0 through Agile manufacturing. Dr. VMM Tilak is working as Associate Professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering, Nehru Institute of Engineering and Technology, Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu. Sorry, I will repeat. Dr. VMM Tilak is working as Associate Professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering, Nehru Institute of Technology and Technology, Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu. He received his bachelor degree in mechanical engineering in the year 2009. He obtained his master degree in CAD/CAM from Anna University in 2011. He obtained his PhD degree in 2017 for his work on Agile manufacturing from TSG Tech College of Technology, Coimbatore, and Anna University. He is giving 11 years of teaching research experience. He has published over 24 research papers in peer-reviewed international journals. He has authored a book titled Industry 4.0, Future of Manufacturing. He has delivered more than 30 seminars, workshops in the reputed institutions in Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Dubai, and Malaysia. Over the past decade, he has interacted with thousands of students and faculty members to understand their mindset, the obstacles they face, and the major distractions. He has enlightened them to achieve success by motivating and inspiring them. So it is heartfelt welcome you, sir, for this session and this online faculty development program. So welcome you, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you for the wonderful introduction, sir.
Thank you.
Shall I start now, sir?
Yeah, you can start, sir.
So good morning to one and all present here. Good morning to the organizers, the participants, and my dear colleagues. So I'm honored to be a part of this lean manufacturing in Industry 4.2 scenario, 5-day ACT ATAL FDP training program. So this session I'm going to handle on Industry 4.2 through Agile manufacturing. So just like how the speaker introduced me, I am Dr. Tilak. I did my PhD in Agile manufacturing. So the moment Dr. M. Karthikeyan sir mentioned that he is going to conduct a program on lean manufacturing in Industry 4.2, I jumped to the bandwagon. So this session is going to be like this. So this is what we are going to see in this session. The first, I'll be briefing about what are the different manufacturing paradigms. We have come through many manufacturing paradigms throughout the year, throughout the industrial revolutions. Next, we will see what are the industrial revolutions that has taken place in the manufacturing sector. Then we will come to the fourth revolution, that is Industry 4.0, which is a hot topic today. And finally, I'll explain my case study, the PhD work which I carried out related to Industry 4.2 and IoT. So this is how the session is going to be. So to continue, we all know that the globalization, after the effect of globalization, it has intensified the competition in the local market. After the globalization has occurred, the competition has very much intensified. Everyone is focusing on giving quality products, because more than the manufacturers, the customers have power. The modern customers, they demand high quality products, that too with best features, that too attractive features, innovative features, and at low cost. Now the customers have the upper hand, that the modern consumers, they demand high quality products at low cost, because the competition has become globalized. And modern manufacturing industries, they are not only striving to satisfy the customer, but also they are working aggressively to delight them. Now, the satisfaction, customer satisfaction has become a fade. Now, the motive to be in the business, scenario, we have to delight the customer. We have to keep them in ecstasy. The next term to delightment is ecstasy. Customer ecstasy is making them addict of your product. That is going to be the next level. Now we are already in the delightment stage. The next stage is going to be the ecstasy. So in this stage, agile manufacturing paradigm plays a very important role in bringing out innovative products within a short period of time. In the earlier times, the product development time will be so high, we can't get hands on an innovative product in a shorter time, but that has been made as a reality in the present time because of this agile manufacturing concept. So we'll start from the first traditional manufacturing competition. Initially what happened is we were having only one type of manufacturing, that is craft production. So this is how the manufacturing was done. Initially, when the humankind evolved, they started manufacturing products. It was customized. Only when the order comes, they will do. One good example for craft production is pottery. People used to make pots. They don't produce in mass. At the earlier time, they used to produce it, and they'll make it as per the requirement of the customer. And the main disadvantage of this craft production is this craft production solely depends on the skill of that particular manufacturer. Only a skilled person can make this craft. Since it is named as craft production, it is completely skill oriented. Only the people who knows the job can do it. This was how the earlier production strategies was. This is in the beginning. So all the sophisticated products were manufactured using this craft production, and individual humans or a group of them will be manufacturing them at low volume. The main disadvantage of craft production is one is skill and the other one is low volume, and the pricing will be very high because only very few persons can manufacture it. Then came the era of industrialization. Many industries have cropped up and many machines were introduced. All the manufacturing sectors were mechanized. They started increasing the volume of production. The products produced has been, mass production has been carried out. This was called as mass production. Hundreds of humans were assembled under one roof and they were using machines. With the help of machines, they started manufacturing products at a mass scale. So obviously when we produce something at a mass scale, the price started reducing. So more number of customers started buying products. It was easily available and it was growing in a larger scale comparing to all the other production strategies. Mass production gave us more profit because the production was in mass, the manufacturing, the marketing, everything was done. And the main disadvantage, the advantage was the production time reduced, the market time, the industry to market time has reduced. But the main disadvantage of mass production was there were several ways. Many ways were there. The more importantly, 7 different types of waste, like overproduction, and sometimes the delay in manufacturing was also there. And production of defective products, that also was a major issue because when products were manufactured at a mass scale, they were not focusing on the quality, rather than they were focusing only on the quantity. They were focusing on the numbers alone. So there were more number of defective products in the departments, and as humans were working 3 shifts a day continuously, human error is unavoidable. So because of this intensely networked working, there were so many wastages, which resulted in loss. Even though mass production has increased the profit and production rate, the losses were also increased. So waste like overproduction, delay in manufacturing and production, and defective products, and wastage of time is also a type of waste, and the wastage of movement is also one type of waste. So all these waste combined and created huge loss. That was when James P. Womack, he introduced the term lean manufacturing in the book named The Machine That Changed the World. Of course, as per his book, it is true that after the introduction of modern machines, it has completely changed the whole world. Even the world wars has been changed because of the introduction of these machines. Many countries got their edge because of their innovations in manufacturing sector. So lean manufacturing term was popularized. The main concept of lean manufacturing, we have had sessions in the previous, the same FDP, we had previous sessions on lean manufacturing. So this lean manufacturing term was popularized by James P. Womack. So in this lean manufacturing, several ways, all these 7 different types of waste were removed. When we will call a person lean is when he doesn't have extra load or extra overproduction would be there. Similarly, this lean manufacturing term won't have any overproduction or delay in manufacturing, and it won't have any defective products. That was the main advantage of lean manufacturing paradigm. So this lean manufacturing paradigm has many advantages. This lean manufacturing paradigm was not so flexible comparing to all the other the craft production and other manufacturing sectors. This lean manufacturing paradigm was not so flexible. That is the main issue the traditional manufacturing sector is facing. If you take modern manufacturers like mobile phones, the computer and laptop makers, they are more flexible. They are more flexible towards the needs of the customer. When the customer demands something, immediately they will bring it to the market in the next version. Whereas the traditional manufacturers like air dryers, compressors, and pump manufacturers, they are not so flexible because of their rigid manufacturing paradigms. Only now, industries in Coimbatore and other parts of the country have started adopting lean manufacturing because of reducing the waste. Slowly, they have started imbibing JIT, just-in-time manufacturing concepts. So JIT is a combination where lean manufacturing is also adapted to produce the right quantity and right quality of products with the existing and available products and services. When lean manufacturing paradigm was implemented all over country, all over world, this just-in-time manufacturing has also been adapted, where they will produce only the right quantity at the right time. They won't overproduction. They won't do extra waste. Waste elimination will be done. And by the time lean manufacturing paradigm was followed by all the companies in the global arena, globalization has occurred. That's when this agile manufacturing concept came in. So agile manufacturing is, the word agile means that the time, the ability to react to the dynamic requirements of the customer. For instance, if a customer demands one particular feature, immediately the modern manufacturer, what they will do is they will react to it. They will change their product. They will change the production line. And within no time, they will launch the same within a short duration of time. This is how the agile manufacturing concept will work. So earlier time, if you compare this analogy, if the customers are considered as a prey, the customers used to run in a straight line. And you can be a lion or tiger in order to chase the customer. If you are a company or manufacturer, it will be easy for you to catch them even if they change the direction. But now the customers are running in zigzag productions. Their requirements are changing dynamically. So now you have to become a cheetah, which is more agile comparing to a lion or tiger. You would have seen animal chasing videos in National Geography and Discovery, where cheetah will be more agile comparing to all the other animals, all the other big animals. The moment the prey changes the direction, the cheetah will also change the direction and it will catch hold of it. Similarly, the manufacturers has to be more flexible, just like a cheetah. They have to predict the move of the customer. As I mentioned earlier, this globalization has fueled the competition among the local players and the international players. The international players has launched their products in the local market. So there is no other go for the local manufacturers. They have to adapt this agile manufacturing paradigm. So this agile manufacturing empowers the customer. It will enable the customers to demand innovative products. Even if they are using a product for a very long time, they have the choice to go for a globalized product. So even the local manufacturers has to come with an innovative idea in order to hold the customer. So one good example for agile manufacturing is earlier times when cars were manufactured, they were using traditional manufacturing methodology, where they will be producing cars at mass rate, mass quantity, and they will be supplying it to the market. But now, because of the intensification of competition, mass customization has come in. We already know that mass production, lean production, just in time, and then came agile manufacturing. Now mass customization is also there. Now the customers can choose from a different variety of products. They give different variations. If you go for a car, they will give different variations. They won't give you only excuse me, they won't give you only one product. They will give you variations, different variations, high line, comfort line, the basic model. So you can choose from whichever variant you require. Apart from that, you also have the option to choose from different colors. Now there are high-end manufacturers, high-end luxury car manufacturers who manufactures cars based on the color requirement of the customer. If you choose your color, they will manufacture according to it. All these things has happened because of the intensification of competition only. The moment the customer requires. So initial times, there was not much change in the models of car. Only once in 5 years, a new model will be launched. But now, every year, there has been changes in the even in the successful model. If you take in the automobile sector, in the Indian roads, Maruti Swift is considered the most successful car. The highest number sold is Maruti Swift. So if you take that car, that is the most successful model. But if you compare with the new model with the 5-year-old model, you can notice so many changes. Because unless you don't upgrade yourself, you will be outdated. So the companies are in demand to delight the customer. They are adding additional features in order to keep the customer, in order to hook the customer, in order to make them a loyal customer forever. This agile manufacturing concept was initially formed in Iacocca Institute in the year 1990. There were a considerable number of researchers who are working on different directions in order to implement agile manufacturing concepts in companies. Even now, there are many software concerns which are following this agile manufacturing concept. And this agile manufacturing concept enables the customer to demand high quality products, and simultaneously this agile manufacturing concept will enable the companies to react quickly, as I mentioned earlier, to react quickly in accordance to the dynamic demands of the customer. The customer demands are changing day by day. Even if the customer is not demanding, it is our duty to delight and keep the customer in our home. And from the birth at Ayakoka Institute, the agile manufacturer has come a long journey. It has come in a different sector. It has been adopted in many different sectors, mainly in electronic industries and mobile phone manufacturers, laptop manufacturers, even in aerospace sector. Because aerospace sector, dynamic changes will be there. Immediately that change has to be adapted. So all these modern industries has adopted agile manufacturing. It is imperative for the future traditional manufacturers to adapt this agile manufacturing to be in the competition. So recently there was a news article published in the local newspaper saying that because of the introduction of Chinese pumps, the local manufacturers in Coimbatore and other parts of India, local pump manufacturers are suffering. But now, even our manufacturers have started producing innovative products like solar pump, mobile operated pump, and pumps with sensors, the pumps with IoT devices. All those innovative products are being launched by our manufacturers too, in order to give tough competition to the foreign market. Slowly we are in the path. So this agility or agile manufacturing will enable the manufacturers to cater to the dynamic demands of the customer. So there are different enablers for agile manufacturing. We will see what are the different enablers. I hope you are clear with the term agility. Agility is reacting quickly. One good example is mobile phone manufacturing industry. I always quote mobile phone manufacturing industry as the best example which follows this agile manufacturing. We all know that we had a very good company named Nokia. They were the giant. They were ruling the charts few years back in the mobile manufacturing sector. They lost the market because of not adapting to the dynamic demands of the customer. If you take Nokia, they were late to the trend of launching touchscreen mobile phones and dual SIM mobile phones. So this technology adoption created a huge setback for them. They lost their competitive edge. They were the leading manufacturers for more than a decade. Almost all the people who were using mobile phones in India were using Nokia. But they lost their edge only because of not adapting to the dynamic demands. When Samsung launched its dual SIM mobile phone, Nokia was not considering it. They were thinking that it was a new hype which will fade. And they were very slow in adapting touchscreen mobile phones also. That is when Samsung acquired its own market. Even now, the mobile phone manufacturers like Samsung has tough competition from new manufacturers like Redmi and Realme and other manufacturers, because every now and then, every 2 months once, they are launching a new product with innovative features. Earlier time, we used to have only one camera in our mobile phone. That was itself an exciting feature for us. But right now, each one of us has mobile phones with 4 or 5 cameras. Just to delight the customers, they are adding feature by feature. There are more features that we would have never imagined that mobile phone would have replaced so many devices in our day-to-day. Now we don't use any alarm clock. That has been replaced. We don't use any address book. No contact book is being written and kept in your pocket. There is no reminder. Everything is dependent on mobile phone, and we don't send messages. Telegram, the actual word Telegram has been outdated. Now only the Telegram app is being used more often. We have even lost touch in sending messages. We have started WhatsApping. So many things the mobile phone has changed in our lives, right? So this is one good example for agile manufacturing. They have adapted to the dynamic demands of the customer. Every year, Apple is launching a new mobile phone with more advanced features. Every Apple user is getting excited when the new mobile phone is being launched because they give the customers more value comparing to any other brands. That's why they are the leader in the today's market. And there are even, if you in 10 years back, if someone has said that we can shoot movies using a mobile phone, we would have, excuse me, few years back, if they have mentioned that we can shoot movies using Apple iPhone. Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, it's audible, sir.
Okay. So right now there are movies are being made using mobile phone, that is Apple iPhone, because of the high number of features provided by them in order to delight the customer. So it is high time all the industries should imbibe this agile manufacturing paradigms, the enablers of agile manufacturing, in order to be in the competition. So there are many different enablers for agile manufacturing. The most important enablers are mentioned here. Artificial intelligence. AI, artificial intelligence is an enabler which will aid the manufacturers. It will give an edge to the manufacturers to imbibe this agile manufacturing concept, because of course we are collecting data. Numerous amount of data is being collected from the customer, from the consumer, and these data are used to predict the dynamic demands. As I mentioned earlier, we have to be one step ahead as a manufacturer. We have to be one step ahead of the customer. If we are aiming to only solve the problems of the customer, we will be behind our competitors. So in order to be ahead of the competitors and the customers, we should study the data given by our customers and consumers. The user data is being collected. There are many different techniques which we use in order to collect the data. All the manufacturing industries, the R&D departments collect numerous data. That's why we have data scientists and data analysts who will collect all these data and find out the features which are going to excite, which are going to make the people, because we all know that all the customers, the buying of any product will be done only through emotionally. Only through emotionally, next is logically. The logical thinking will come only in the second. Emotional decisions will, so it is imperative to excite them first. Give them the aha moment so that they will make your product viral. If your product has that aha moment, that exciting feature, you don't need to spend money for marketing it. They themselves will take a video, they'll put it, they'll share it among their social media networking sites. They will make it viral. So that's how the trend is. That's how the new foldable Samsung mobile phones have become a trend in the recent time. When someone gets their hands on this foldable Samsung mobile phone, immediately they'll take a video, and because it is something new, no one has seen such mobile phones, immediately they'll spread the news and you will get free marketing. So all these things are done because of the consumer data. All those data has been taken, and using those data, we develop products with AI capability. This artificial intelligence is not only used in product, it is also used in the industries. We are in the era of smart manufacturing. So where we are going to use AI technology. Next comes internet, the most powerful tool in our generation. So earlier times we had internet only for our computers. Now we have internets in our mobile phone. We have internet in our smartwatch. Very soon this internet will be connected in almost all the gadgets, all the equipments which we use. Already our TV has got an internet. Our AC, air conditioners has got an internet. So this IoT, Internet of Things, is going to be the future, where all the components, all the equipments which we do, which we use on a daily basis will have internet. Even our cars, the cars which we drive has started using internet connection. We have an inbuilt GPS system, and we also have modern cars like Tesla, where artificial intelligence has also come in. It will be driven autonomously by itself. So this is the future. We are not talking about 30 years or 20 years from now. We are talking about the present scenario. There are cars which can be driven autonomously, which can drive by itself. Autopilot mode has come in Tesla cars. So this Internet of Things is going to be a revolution. Very soon, in our households, we will have an internet in your stove. We will have internet in your refrigerator, your washing machine, and even in your bed in order to assess your sleep. It will show you, it will give you data, what is the quality of your sleep is going to be, how often you are restless, which phase of sleep you were getting, whether you were in a REM sleep or a non-REM sleep, whether the sleep was quality enough in order to refresh you. All those data will be sent to you in your mobile phone. Not only to you, it will be sent to the manufacturers also. We already have internet for our two-wheelers. You can order something online. You can track down where the order has arrived just using the person's mobile phone, right? So Internet of Things is also a very, very good enabler for agile manufacturing. Even the industries have started adopting these enablers. Earlier times when some product is not available, when your manufacturing is being done and the inventory has not stored the product which is required, if they are asking for the supplier, we have to wait for the supplier. We have to believe their words. But right now we have GPS vehicles where we can track down where the product is. The moment any supplier products, any nuts and screws are getting depleted, immediately, automatically the mail will be sent to the supplier without the intervention of any purchase manager. An automatic mail will be sent. Immediately it will be bought. So recently there was a news online saying that a Tesla car has ordered its own tires. So it has assessed the worn out tires. Once it has got the data, immediately it had the car details of the owner. It itself has purchased the new tires for the car. So this is how the future is going to be. All the manufacturers, all the company car manufacturers will have a digital twin for the product which they sell. Say for instance, if you are buying a bike from a manufacturer, mostly it will be an electric vehicle in future, in near future. So if you are buying an electric vehicle from them, they will have a digital twin of the same bike. They will monitor, they would have installed the sensors in your bike. These sensors will send the data to the manufacturer. In the digital twin, all this data will be stored. Immediately when some part gets damaged or requires replacement, it will send a notification to the manufacturer. The manufacturer will call you and say that your bike has some issue, bring it back for a service. Your bike has a replacement, has some part which is to be replaced. So this is going to be the next level of maintenance. We have known predictive maintenance, periodic maintenance, and breakdown maintenance. But now this is going to be the future where the companies are going to decide when to maintain your vehicle, when the parts has to be replaced. So this is the power of Internet of Things. And the next enabler for agile manufacturing is inter and intra-enterprise activities. All these inter and intra-enterprise activities are streamlined using internet. Everything is online. Even a people, excuse me, even a person who is in the other part of the country. Recently, I visited the Hyundai manufacturing plant where the people in South Korea are controlling the operations here in Chennai. Such a inter and intra-enterprise activities are completely controlled using internet. This will also enable agile manufacturing sector. And the next enabler is a standard for exchange of products step. We'll set a standard project. Universally, we will have standardized products. And virtual manufacturing, that is also the enabler of agile manufacturing, where before manufacturing a component, we will create a 3D model which can be accessed. This can be used in civil sector, where before constructing a house, we can construct the 3D model of that particular house using this virtual manufacturing, and it can be given as an experience to the customer. The moment when they experience this VR, using VR devices, they can experience, they can go and visit the house before even the construction of the house. This virtual manufacturing also plays a very important role. And component-based shop floor distribution system. So all the shop floor, all the stations will have sensors. It will be connected to the inventory. The moment one particular tray gets depleted, immediately the notification will be sent and it will be purchased. So component-based distributions will take place. There won't be any bottleneck in the manufacturing sector. Bottleneck plays a very important role in wastage of time. So there won't be any bottleneck. The manufacturing will go smoothly. So this will also be a good enabler for agile manufacturing. Apart from that, customization and genetic algorithm approach, everything will be controlled using this GA approach. And as I mentioned earlier, customization, mass customization is also possible. If one particular sector, even if you take KFC and McDonald's, they have customized their menu based on the local taste of the customer. Just because they are a global brand, they don't stick to their own original recipes. Because in order to cater to the local customers, you have to cater to their needs. So this customization is being done in all the industries. Now that is being done in traditional manufacturing industries also. Based on the color, the shape, and the variant, everything is customizable. Next is rapid prototyping, the emerging era, the new age manufacturing technology. This rapid prototyping and 3D printing technology has enabled the product development time. If you take a new product development, it will take minimum 3 to 5 years in the earlier time. Now, because of this rapid prototyping, we don't have to depend on developing tools and machines in order to manufacture one prototype. The moment you design something in a CAD model, in Creo or SolidWorks, the moment it has been conceptualized, we all know that the products which we use has gone through these sectors, these stages. First is it was conceptualized. Everything, every table, chair, laptop, mobile phone, everything which we use has been conceptualized. It was first created in the minds of someone. After creating it as an idea, after checking whether the product is needed, because we all know that need is the mother of all the inventions, whether it is required in the market, whether this particular product caters to the customer, whether it solves any problem to the customer. After assessing that, they have to manufacture the product first. First, the prototype has to be manufactured, then it has to be tested, then only the actual manufacturing can go on. So this was how the traditional manufacturing was doing. But now the scenario has changed, where the moment it has been conceptualized, it can be created as a 3D model. Either a new product can be done immediately, or you can take the digitized version of the existing product, make some changes to it, then you can give it into a 3D printer. There are many different types of 3D printer, mainly uses additive manufacturing technology. Using those 3D printers, we can create the prototype. We can see in hand, not only virtually, just by creating a prototype, we can see it in hand. We can use it for testing, and immediately we can see the feasibility of that particular product. And we can also develop molds. We can develop jigs and fixtures using those, and we can start the manufacturing process. So this is how, using this rapid prototyping technology only, people have started launching new products at a record rate. Every 6 months once, we are getting a new mobile phone with different features, with exciting features. That is because that is made possible only because of this rapid prototyping technology. Apart from that, information technology also plays a very important role, where all the informations, as I mentioned earlier, everything is processed. And apart from quality function deployment, we have IT QFD, where the innovative ideas will also be deployed in this. This IT QFD plays a very important role. And the management responsibility also plays a very important role in as an enabler, because only with the support of the management of the company, they can implement this lean concept and agile concept. Now, in the local scenario, people have started imbibing lean agile concepts. That is lean manufacturing along with agile manufacturing, a certain level of agile manufacturing, where they will cater to the customer need. If a customer comes with an order, they will consider their order, they will make minor changes to the product, and they will launch it. If more number of people comes with the same requirement, they will completely change the design of the product. So in order to imbibe this agile manufacturing concept in Industry 4.0 sector, we need the support of management. Only then all these concepts can be imbibed in a manufacturing sector, and we can also create unicorns in startups. Okay. Then manufacturing management, everything is computerized now. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, everything can be managed online. All the manufacturing times, everything can be monitored. It can be controlled using this manufacturing management. And we also require the involvement of the employees, because as I mentioned earlier, the technology is changing rapidly. So it is imperative to train the employees accordingly. So involvement of employee training, giving proper training to the employee plays a major role in success of the modern industry. And the modern industries also require the technology and manufacturing strategy. All those things has to be different. Manufacturing strategies are being adapted the new era. As I mentioned earlier, along with the just in time, they are also manufacturing products in different strategies, like batch production is being done, where a certain amount of, if you say for instance, if you go online and if you look for Apple 13 model, it will be available, the last launch model. If you look for Apple iPhone 9, it won't be available, because the older versions, earlier times it used to be available till the stocks are over, but now they discontinue the old products in order to give more weightage to the existing product. So everything is manufactured in batches. Once that batch gets over, they won't manufacture the same product again. They will add some additional feature, exciting additional feature to it. Then they'll relaunch the product as the next version. The next version will be launched. The same product. But if you take the traditional manufacturing industries, say for instance, pump, the design of the pump has not changed drastically over the period of time. If you take the design of the pump, it used to be the same from the beginning. So that's the main disadvantage of traditional manufacturers. But now is the time to catch up with the modern manufacturers. And apart from that, design of experiments is also done using with aid of computers and activity-based costing. The pricing also plays a very important role. As I mentioned earlier, agile manufacturing is about catering to the dynamic demands of the customer at low cost. This also plays a very important role. You can't charge people high. You have to give the optimal rate, because in order to be in the market, we have to work on the pricing also. So activity-based costing will also be done. So these are the different enablers of agile manufacturing, which were identified in the papers, research papers, which were published in the area of agile manufacturing concepts. And based on all these enablers, we come to know that in order to make a product design agile, these are the main factors. First one is innovative features has to be added. The product has to be innovative. As I mentioned earlier, some innovation. The customers are requiring some innovation and flexibility. The product has to be flexible enough. Only when there is a digitized version of the product, this will be possible. Earlier times when we were manufacturing products, traditional manufacturing products like pump, they used to manufacture with the same drawing data. They would have the 3D draw. They won't have the 3D digitized version of the product. So changing the features, making some changes won't be available. So this will become an obstacle for them to make the innovations in the product. So this flexibility is the advantage in the modern manufacturers. So in the modern manufacturers, if you take all these modern products will have a digitized version. So this digitized version can be easily modified. That flexibility is available. Excuse me. This flexibility is available. Immediately product will be changed, and feature can be added, a feature can be removed, and it can be launched as a new version. So in order to acquire agility, flexibility is required in the design of the product, and reconfigurability, that is also required. Even the configuration has to be flexible. It has to be reconfigurable, and the cost of production has to be minimized. The cost of production will be minimized only when you are imbibe the Lean Agile concept. Only when you reduce the waste, minimize the waste of production, the cost of production will come down. Because the products will be manufactured in batches. In order to manufacture in batches, we will have certain criteria. At that criteria, we should not have much defective products. And this will in turn affect the brand value of the product also. If you focus only on the quantity and not the quality, the brand value of the product will get a hit. So rather than focusing on quantity, we have to focus on quality of the product. By giving high quality product to the customers, the brand value of the product will also go high. The product will be, even if you charge it high, the customers will be ready to buy the product which are charged high. One good example for another example for agile manufacturing is the ready-made shirts and the tailor-made shirts. So earlier times we used to follow this craft production technique where we used to get cloth, give it to the tailor, the local tailor, and they will stitch the cloth according to our dimensions. That was how our parents were getting new dresses. That was how the older generation was getting. But right now, in the modern era, people don't have time to take a material and give it to a tailor and wait for the design to come up. They are looking for ready-made materials that too with good quality and good fitting. So this has evolved. The modern customers, more number of people has launched their own product which are more comfortable comparing to all the other tailor-made shirts. So this is also another example for agile manufacturing where mass customization is being done. If you take one particular design, if you go to a shopping mall, you can see the same design, same color shirts in different sizes. XL, L, M, all those sizes will be there in the same shirt. This is known as mass customization. You are catering to the needs of the customer. And this will result in high profitability. Comparing to the previous traditional manufacturing system, this agile manufacturing and industry 4.0 concept will give us the edge and high profitability will be available. So these are the 4 different revolutions that has taken place in our industrial scenario. If you take the first revolution took place in the 18th century, where mechanical production equipment were powered using steam. That was how initially the production was done. Even, excuse me, sorry, I'm not feeling well. That's why, sorry for that trouble. So in the beginning, in the 18th century, when we have started the Industrial Revolution 1, we started using all the components and machine which were powered by steam. Even cars were driven using steam. Then came the era of Industry 2.0 where mass production were done. All the assembly lines were done and the machines were operating using the electrical energy. They were using the electrical energy in order to run the machines. This has become the most important revolution where the mass production has taken place. The workers were made to work 2 shifts, 3 shifts a day. Continuously, the machines were running. And the production rate was highly increasing. And the cost of the product has come down. As the quantity of the production has improved, the cost has come down. And simultaneously, the quality of the product has also come down because of the previously mentioned waste. Then is the Industry 3.0, the 20th century, where automated production. Now there are many industries which uses automated production systems using electronics, using robots. They have robots in places. If you take automobile sector, you can see all the engines are assembled being using robots, right? Big industrial sized robots are being used using the mechatronics, the combination of mechanical and electronics. They are using advanced robots, which has removed the skilled employee requirement. Earlier times, we required skills for the employee. Now we just require operators, right? Initial times, when we had only lathes during Industry 2.0, we were using traditional conventional lathes. At that time, skill played a very important role, the skill of the employee. But right now in the 20th century, in the Industry 3.0, we started adapting CNC machines, computer numerical control machines. These CNC machines has removed the requirement of the skills from the employees. So you don't require a skilled employee, you just need an operator who can load and unload the component. He just has to load the component. When he switches on the program, immediately it will start machining. It will set the axis and it will start machining. Whether it is turning, drilling or machining, anything can be done with high quality surface finish, with accurate dimension. Comparing to the traditional manufacturing, this computer numerical control machines will have high quality components, and high quality manufacturing can be done, and time required will also be comparatively less. When you compete machines with human, if a human can manufacture 100 components in a day, a machine can produce 3 more times compared to a human. That is the most advantageous thing in using machines, CNC machines and other robots in the shop floor. So this modern machines has revolutionized, it has created the Industry 3.0 Industry 3.0 sector, automated production using electronics and IT. Now we are in the era of Industry 4.0, where intelligent production has been done, which is incorporated with IoT. We also use cloud technology and big data. So what happens here is, you don't require an operator here. Everything will be done automatically. It can be controlled. It can be controlled effectively by someone far in the other part of the country or other part of the world, because everything is connected to the internet. Anyone can monitor. Someone from the other part of the world can control and monitor what is happening in this factory because of IoT, Internet of Things. Just like how our mobile phones, smartwatches, our air conditioner, TV, everything has internet. All the machines in the shop floor will also have internet. You don't require a CNC operator to feed in the program in that particular CNC machine. The CNC machine will be connected to the internet. All the input, all the machining parameters will be input from someone else far away, other part of the world, and they will start machining the components using this Industry 4.0 technology. Intelligent productions will be done, and it will be more flexible. Comparing to the traditional manufacturing system, this Industry 4.0 is more flexible. It can manufacture products at high speed with high precision. Good quality products can be manufactured. The companies which has adapted this Industry 4.0 concept has also imbibed Agile manufacturing concept, because only through Agile manufacturing they can get the requirements of the customer. They can cater to the dynamic demands of the customer. So when they get those data, I have mentioned about the enablers of Agile manufacturing. When they get all these data from the customers, immediately they will change their production line according to the change in the product. The moment they get the data from the customer, they will make the change in the product because they will already have the digitized version of the product. The changes will be done immediately. Prototype will be created, feasibility study will be done, the cost analysis will be done, and it will be sent to these machines through internet, and it will start manufacturing, and it will be manufactured. As I mentioned earlier, it will also have sensors. The smart manufacturing devices will all have sensors. It will be sent to the customers, and that will start sending us more data for making it more flexible for the future. So this is the Industry 4.0 scenario where just monitoring will be the human's work. Just observing and monitoring. Everything will be manufactured in accordance to them. So this Industry 4.0 revolution has already happened. The fourth industrial revolutions, already all the modern manufacturers have started adapting it. It is high time the traditional manufacturers has to adapt it. Only then they won't become outdated. Else, because of the intensified competition, from the global sector, they can't survive in the modern manufacturing world. Just like the example I mentioned earlier. So these are the enablers for Industry 4.0. First enabler is Internet of Things, big data analytics, machine learning, augmented reality, and cloud manufacturing. All these things are different enablers for Industry 4.0 sector. We have devices like RFID, sensors, actuators used in order to get more data for Industry 4.0. So there are many Industry 4.0 examples I can quote. One good example is fund transfers, which we use the recent times. We don't use the actual cash now, right? Very soon, even this virtual cash transfer is also going to be revolutionized by centralized cash transfer system like blockchain technology. We already started having cryptocurrencies which can be used for transactions. In the near future, we will have cryptocurrencies in the place of the actual currencies. Using the blockchain technology, even property sales and everything will be done using blockchain technology. The real estate, banking sector, everything is going to be revolutionized because of this blockchain technology. And purchasing of online products, utilization of cloud system. After the pandemic era, we have started this seminar is one example for the modern technology. Just by connecting to the internet, we are sharing our ideas through this internet, through this Zoom portal to different parts of the country. So this itself as an place of exciting example for the advancements we have come through. And similarly, cloud system, we have a cloud system where we can upload data which can be accessed by the students. Live streaming is also one good example, and use of RFID and cab. Right now, we don't book cabs just by for telecalling. We are booking everything using our mobile phones. Our mobile phones, as I mentioned earlier, has replaced almost everything. Now, if you take Ola or Uber, they don't own a single car. They just own the system where they connect the customer with the service provider. Just by having a platform, they are making so many millions and millions in the new age sector. This is one good example for Industry 4.0. They have a system where they can show the location of that particular customer to the cab driver and the cab driver to the customer. So this IoT device and Industry 4.0 has revolutionized many industries. And as I mentioned earlier, this Industry 4.0 has established communication between machines, even among interpersonal and intra communication is being done using this Industry 4.0. This aggressive usage of Industry 4.0 is going to enable, it is going to revolutionize the industries. And with the imbibe of agile manufacturing concepts also, we can do mass customization, which is going to be the enabler of agile manufacturing. And regarding my research work, so I, as the person who introduced me mentioned, I completed my research, full-time research in the year 2016-17. So at that time, I did my research on Internet of Things. What I did is I took a traditional manufacturing product, which is a pump. I took 3 different types of pump. I added internet to it. All the data were recorded. It was controlled using an app. So I'll just explain it as a case study for a better understanding of the use of technology using IoT and Industry 4.0 in agile manufacturing. So in future, just like the pump, just like all the other devices, every equipment around us will have a network. All these things, even lights. Now we have devices like Alexa. Just the moment you enter the house, you can ask the Alexa to switch on all the lights. You can ask the Alexa to switch on the air conditioner, refrigerator, even the stove. Because every device which you have in future will have an internet in it. And it will capture all the data and it will be remotely controllable. This IoT devices will include sensors, smart locks will be there, smart lighting will be there. So many embedded systems will be there. So you can see here, these are the different devices which are being controlled now. Even if you have a CCTV camera, you don't have to go take the records and check. When you have a CCTV camera installed, it will have an internet connection. It will transmit the data to your mobile phone. From our mobile phone, we can see what is happening in our household or somewhere else using this IoT. And apart from that, we have refrigerator, automobile, computer, printer, microwave, even coffee maker. In future, coffee maker will also have internet, where you can set your preferences and you can manufacture things according to your requirement. Smart scale devices will also be there, which will be connected to your mobile phone. Every day when you measure your weight, that will also be shown in your mobile phone because that will be connected. Just like how your smart watches and fitness trackers, every one of us are using a fitness tracker now, right? So these fitness tracker will send the data related to our physical health to our mobile phone. There was one news article recently saying that one Apple Watch has saved the life of a consumer. So this particular customer was wearing an Apple Watch and he has gone for a jogging. Suddenly he has fainted. Just by sensing the variation in his heart rate, the Apple phone itself called the 911 and immediately he was saved just because of the smart technology which he was using. So very soon, apart from all the other devices, even our chair, our water bottle, everything will get an internet. Our vehicles will get an internet, where everything will be monitored, the performance will be monitored, and better service will be given by the manufacturers. So this technology was used. One case study I'll explain. This is just one part of my research work, where I did my research in three different pump manufacturing companies. In these three pump manufacturing companies, I have got the digitized version of the product. Unfortunately, we didn't have the digitized version of the product. What they had is only the drawings, only the 2D drawings which were given to the shop floor for manufacturing the component. They were manufacturing as per the requirements of their manufacturers. So what I did is, using the data, using those drawings, I created a digitized version of the product. They were manufacturing centrifugal pump, open well, and submersible pumps. So using the monoblock centrifugal pump, I have taken their different drawings from their data, and I have devised a digitized version, that is a 3D model, in order to infuse the agile characteristics. A digitized 3-dimensional model of the component of the centrifugal pump was modeled. So you can see different components were modeled using the Creo software. And finally, after designing all these components, they don't have such a digitized version. That is the main disadvantage of traditional manufacturers. They don't have the digitized version. Only when they have the digitized version, they can make some more changes in the same product. The absence of such technology, the non-availability of such technology has stopped them from adding some R&D, research and development, to the existing product. So the existing product has been completely digitized, and then we carried out a study on what are the factors that people, the customers, are giving, the factors which the customers are preferring. So I used a fuzzy AHP approach. I used an analytical hierarchy process in order to prioritize these three features. The first feature is the functional features. The second one is ergonomic, and the third one is aesthetic. So all the customers give more preference. They choose to buy a product based on these three features. If a customer goes to buy a product, either online or offline, they give importance to these three products. This was found using this fuzzy AHP approach, where other features like the cost, the brand, all those things were also added, but only these three were prioritized comparing to all the other features at the end of the fuzzy AHP results. So when you compare the functional features is the performance of the pump or product. The customers give more importance to the functional features rather than the ergonomic and aesthetic features. High importance is being given to the functional features. If you go and see the pump, they give importance to only the HP. How much power it can pump, how much discharge it can provide, how much height it can pump. Only those functional features the customers are giving more preference to. So the functional features were improved after creating the digitized version. Then ergonomic features. Ergonomic features is the fair usage of the product by the customer. Here, the main disadvantage of the product which we took is the pump. The main disadvantage was the noise it was producing. Comparing to all the other products, if you take the household products, everything has got its own quiet version. Earlier times, we used to have loud noise fans and other systems. Now we don't have such noise producing systems in our households. But this motors and pumps produces enormous noise, which will produce an unpleasant environment in the households. So the ergonomic features was also modified. Then aesthetics. If you take pumps, they don't focus on aesthetic at all, mainly the traditional manufacturers. But the modern customers give more preference to the aesthetics comparing to all the other. Even some are giving importance to the aesthetic over functional characteristics. If some bike, if there is an automobile which looks good, which looks aesthetically good, and it is giving low performance, it consumes high mileage, it consumes high fuel, they don't mind spending on it because of the aesthetic feature. Just because the bike is looking good, aesthetically, visually appealing, people are ready to spend high for the fuel charges. That's how important aesthetic features are. Whereas the traditional manufacturers are not focusing on the aesthetic features. If you take the older time, when there were only few models of car in India, like Ambassador, Fiat, we didn't have any other options. We have to go with the available model. But right now, when you go to the market, we can see how aesthetically pleasing, visually appealing products available online, available in the market, right? Every now and then they are changing the design, they are changing the completely, they are changing the overall look. So initial time, if you take another good example for agile manufacturing concept is the manufacturers, bullet manufacturers, the Royal Enfield, excuse me, Royal Enfield bullets were manufactured. Initially, the brakes and gears were in a different side comparing to the normal vehicle. It was like that for a longer period of time, but once they understood that their sales depends on transformation of the product, they immediately changed it. They reduced the weight of the product. They introduced alloy wheels. They introduced ignition system, dual injection systems. All those innovative changes has been made. The designs has been completely changed. A complete makeover of the product has been done. And the sales of the Royal Enfield bikes has shot up just because they focused on the aesthetic and functional features. These three features, once they focused, immediately the sales of the product has revolutionized. That is the power of agility. Even now, if you go online and if you go to the showroom, you can't see the same model which was available in the last year. Every 6 months once, every 1 year once, they are launching new innovative products in order to keep the customer, in order to make the customer buy again and again. So if you take mobile phones, we change a mobile phone for once in 2 years or 3 years. But if you take a pump or any other things, people don't get excited by the new pump because it doesn't have any innovative or delighting feature. That is the main disadvantage of the pumping sector, the traditional manufacturers. So this was an app, Android app, which was developed by me during my research. So using this app, the pump motor can be completely controlled. So the app can be used to switch on and switch off the pump. It will also have a level indicator. It will have a timer where you can set the timer. It will also have power consumed section, which will show you how much power was consumed in that particular pump. And metering is also there, how much liquid. This metering will be used, can be used for industrial sector or food processing industries. Metering can also be done. And apart from that, immediate help. You can book and service appointment using this app itself. Such an innovative feature was there. So these were the features in the smart pump application. This smart pump was connected to the internet, and this smart pump device was controlled using a mobile phone which had this app. So this was the circuit, the Proteus simulation circuit. The circuit was developed in Proteus software, virtual simulation software, where the schematic design was developed. You can see here, we have sensors, as I mentioned earlier, we will have sensors in the sump and the overhead tank. Once the overhead tank level goes down, immediately we will get an indication in our app and it will switch on the pump automatically. We can monitor everything using our mobile phone itself, using the smart pump app. This was the coding which was done in Kale. So this was the system which was attached to the pump, where we have level sensors, relay switches, current sensor. We also had a ARM microcontroller which was controlling everything. And this was a GPS module using which the communication was being done from the mobile phone to the system and to the system to the mobile phone. Vice versa was happening. Everything was controlled using a mobile phone. So this Internet of Things, which was added to the mobile phone, has been an innovative feature. After designing and developing the smart pump app, I presented to the manufacturers and they were excited and they have taken it for the further research. Because once they adopt it, it will be an innovative feature which will like excite the customer. If you say that there is a pump for sales which has innovative features, which has an internet which you can control using your mobile phone from anywhere, and you can also track down the amount of water discharged, what is the level, everything can be seen in your mobile phone, means of course people will be excited and people will be ready to show it off to their friends and relatives. They will make the product viral because these innovative features will be shared. The customers will take the pride of having it. They will share it among with all the other people. And of course, this will become a innovative feature which will delight the customer. This is not only satisfying, this will also delight the customer. So this is the screenshot of the app which was developed. It also has a alert tone which you can switch on. If you switch on the pump, you might forget it. It will switch off automatically once the overhead tank gets filled. But still we can have an alert tone switched on. So this pump app can be operated, as I mentioned earlier. You can select the time. If you want to select it for 15 minutes, it will run for 15 minutes straight and it will switch off automatically. And this level indicator will show you the level of water, the sump level, the overhead tank level. It will show you whether it is low, medium or full. And power, this water control is required. It's the need of the hour because we are moving into the water scarcity sector. So better water management has to be done. So metering can also be done. The amount of liquid discharged, total liters of liquid discharge, everything can be monitored. That is the advantage of IoT. Everything can be monitored. All these data will be stored. You can find out how much liters of water has been discharged in the last month just using this app. If you find it out, you can manage things more effectively because you can't control anything until you measure it. Right? This applies to everything in our personal and professional life. You can control something only when you measure it. So that's why we are measuring everything. Even the power consumed is also being measured. If there is overconsumption of power, if there is some issue in the operation of the pump, immediately an indication will be shown. Just like how, excuse me, just like how your car shows you an indication, the engine check light. Similarly, your pump will also show you an indication. This is just an example of a IoT device which can be used for smart pumping. And this is the help feature where you can get access to the operating manual where all the videos will be there. Troubleshooting videos will be available where you yourself can repair. The minor repairs can be done by yourself because the customers looks for such things. They don't, the moment they get some issue, they go to YouTube to check it, right? We all do the same thing. So in order to avoid that, we also give them an operating manual where troubleshooting videos will be available. Small issues can be handled by the customer itself. And apart from that, immediate complaint booking can be done using this app. The moment you touch it, it will be going directly to the customer care because the role of the manufacturer doesn't end with the sale of the product. We have to get a better, we have to give them better after sales service. Only then the brand value get improved. You won't buy a brand just by knowing the name, because we should know whether the service center is available, whether proper service will be provided, whether the spare parts is readily available. Only then we will buy the product, right? So proper post-sales service has also to be given to the customers. And these are the functional features which was done. Apart from that, in aspect of ergonomics, the average noise generated from the pump was 60 to 80 decibels. So 80 decibels is not pleasant to the human ears. So the main noise producing agent in a pump was because of the vibrations in it, because it was grounded, it was creating noise. These vibrations were reduced by using dampeners, vibration isolation pads, and even canopies were designed. Just like how we have canopies, attractive canopies in the power backups. Just like that, we use canopies here also in order to reduce the vibration and the noise produced in it. So all these things were possible because of digitization. So when we created a canopy and created a digitized version with an attractive canopy with it, when we presented to the manufacturers, they were excited to see how the product will be in actual. Okay. And apart from that, in terms of aesthetic, the modern customers, as I mentioned earlier, attach high importance to the aesthetic features of the products. A product with good aesthetic features is more attractive to the modern customer. When you take a normal product, comparing to the normal product, the customers will give importance to the aesthetically designed product, which is visually appealing. Right? This visually appealing product will excite the customer. They will be in a better mood to buy it. So it is important to infuse aesthetic characters, but it is not imperative. Not everyone gives importance to aesthetic, that too for a functional product like pump. But when you give aesthetic features in a pump, that will become an added advantage. It will give a competitive edge comparing to the competitors. When you compare with the competitors, this will give you an edge in the market. So thermochromism was adapted here, where a color changing pump was introduced. Thermochromic paints will change its color when the temperature changes. So as the temperature goes up, the thermochromic paint will become transparent, it will become colorless, and it will reveal the base coat of the pump. So when the pump is operating, it will be in a different color. And when the pump is switched off, when it cools down, it will be in a different color. So this was also an exciting feature that might excite the customer. A color changing pump. This thermochromic paint is also used in sorry. This thermochromic paint is also used in cars. There are videos in YouTube where cars are painted using this thermochromic paint. when it goes in hot sun, immediately the car color will change. When it cools down, when the engine is not running, again it will come back to its original color. So such feature can also be done. So these additional features, functional features and ergonomic features and the aesthetic features were improved in the digitized version of the product, and a new product was made and it was presented to the manufacturers, and the manufacturers presented it to the customers, and the customers were excited about getting such products in the market. So further research and development is going on. The main disadvantage I found at the end of my research is the traditional manufacturers, unlike modern manufacturers, doesn't use any of these modern technologies. These enablers for imbibing this industry 4.0, the IoT devices in order to manufacture. Once they imbibe all these technologies, only they can survive the competition from the manufacturers. So another good example for this industry 4.0 is we have aircrafts with sensors. In the real time, the manufacturers are checking the performance of the engine, of the wings of the complete aircraft system using sensors. Even the life is being predicted. What are the components' life? If some component is not functioning properly, if whether any failure is there, FMEA can be done. A change in design of the product can be done. Impact analysis can be done. Everything can be done using the sensor installed in this aircraft. All the data will be sent in real time. Everything will be configured, it will be controlled, it will be measured using this IoT devices. So not only aircraft sector, we are using all these IoT and other devices in the modern manufacturers, which are known as smart manufacturing systems. So in order to conclude, there are, of course, to be frank, there are challenges in order to coping up with the industry 4.0 scenario. Comparing to all the other countries, we are far behind, but we are marching fast in order to cope up with them. The modern manufacturers are coping up in order to imbibe this industry 4.0 concept, and the absorption of high quality and quantity of knowledge about industry 4.0 has to be done. More such faculty development programs has to be conducted in order to enlighten the faculties to carry out researches in such industry 4.0 and IoT devices, so that from the educators, the new engineers and the modern manufacturers will start imbibing such factors. New researches will be done, new publications will be done, and we will be coping up with the modern industries. The traditional Indian manufacturers can also start adapting the Agile manufacturing concept and industry 4.0 concept. And when you compare the application point of view, high application, numerous amount of applications are available when we implement the smart factory system by incorporating the industry 4.0 enablers and devices. Once it has been done, then there is no turning back. We can also become the manufacturing, just like how we are the vaccine producers of the whole world. We will become the manufacturing hub of the whole world because of the smart manufacturing systems. Many foreign investors might come in and start industries. More Indian products will reach globally when we adapt the smart manufacturing system, because we will cater to the dynamic demands of the customers. Our customers will be delighted. They will spread the word of mouth. The brand value will go high. Even people from other parts of the countries will also start asking for products, Indian products, and it will become withstand the globalized competition. So this is how Industry 4.0 has imbibed throughout its using the enablers of agile manufacturing. Thank you for the time, organizers. So right now the session is for questions. If you have any doubts, you can ask. I'm open to answer questions.
Dear participants, any questions? Now you can unmute yourself to ask questions to the speaker.
Sir, Mangesh Sana from Pune.
Yes, sir.
Have you come across wearable clothes while you are studying Internet of Things? Because in management education, many times we attend these guest lectures and informative sessions like guest speakers like you. They talk about wearable clothes,
Okay, sir.
like
Wearable
just like
clothes with
wearable devices.
wearable clothes with internet, sir.
Yeah, means like if there is a 75-year-old patient in your house and
Okay.
he has been left at home for some time, we are out. If
Yes, sir.
the body temperature drops or if his blood pressure drops or goes high,
Okay,
a
sir.
message would be sent to his registered physician and an ambulance would rush to pick him up, something like that. They always talk about. But
Okay, sir.
I felt that it is more of a conceptualization rather than coming to real terms in modern times.
Yes, sir. During my research also, I have not come across such a term. Of course, we have smart watches with pedometer and other which can other sensors which can detect the heart rate and other vital functions of our body. I have come across such modern devices, but not wearable cloths with sensors, sir. Because if you take cloths, there will be a disadvantage that we have to change it often. So not all the cloths can be, it won't be an innovative product. Of course, what you mentioned is right. It can be an usable product, but when you see in the marketing point of view, that won't be an feasible one. Instead, we can use the smartwatch, which has sensors like this, which can track down, even if, as you rightly mentioned, the people, old age people at home who are alone can use such devices. We can track down, we can monitor their health, their vital status. Everything can be done. More additional features has to be added. That is a good idea, sir. We can develop a smart watch specially made for elderly. Instead of a wearable cloth, watch anyone can wear. They can wear it for throughout the day, anytime, every day they can wear it. So your idea can be changed like this. A wearable watch specially made for elderly people, which can sense all the vital organs, the data from all the vital organs, and which will be sent to their caretakers or their son, daughter, or their doctor. Even the doctor can immediately sense if something is going wrong. He can immediately call that particular person to come and see him in the clinic. That is possible, sir, in
Sir,
near
then
future.
I have one request to make to you.
Yes, sir.
When you can so quickly rephrase and remold this idea. I'm a
Yes, sir.
management teacher, though I'm an engineer, computer engineer, but it is
Great, sir.
some 25, 28 years before I completed. I would
Oh,
like to
great, sir.
write a paper and guidance where I will put in the management part. You please guide about the technology part to me. I'll get in touch with you.
Sure, sure, sir. Sure, sir.
Yeah, so this would be the biggest gain for me attending this ATAL FDP through the organizers.
Yes, sir. It's my pleasure, sir.
Yeah, so please guide for
That's an actually an innovative idea, sir. A smartwatch specially made for elderly people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And most of the sons and daughters are working abroad. Most of them are career oriented. So they will be the good target audience for such products.
Right, sir. Right,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
And I'll get in touch with you, sir. I'll
Sure,
get in
sir.
touch
Sure,
with
sir.
you
My
through
pleasure, sir.
email. Yes. I'm at
Sure, sir.
Pune. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Any questions from the participants? Now you can ask questions for the speaker of the session. Any doubts? Sir, I have one question.
Sir, yes, sir.
Is that smart app can be installed for all other motors, the pumps?
So this was just a prototype which I developed for one pump, sir, but we used it for other companies also. Wherever we keep that smart module, we can use it, sir.
What the way of linking the app with the pump?
We have to, this module which I showed you now, sir, that module has to be fixed to the power of that particular motor. And there are certain sensors, those sensors also has to be kept on the sump and the overhead tank, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any questions?
So, what is the cost of the device you developed?
Sir, the cost for manufacturing all those things, it costed around some 15 to 20,000. But we can, when we bring it to the market, after discussing with the pump manufacturers, when we do it as a mass production, we can bring it less than 5,000 rupees.
Very nice, sir.
All the participants requested to give the session to others. Please already share the link in the WhatsApp, sorry, in the chat box.
Now, we would like to thank the speaker of the session, Dr. V.M. Tilak, the Associate Professor at NIT Coimbatore. So, on behalf of ACT sponsored ATAL Online FDP, on behalf of Rajarishwi College of Engineering, I would like to thank the professor for sharing his valuable time and sharing his valuable experience in his research work to our participants. And thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. My pleasure, sir. I would like to thank Dr. M. Karthikeyan, sir, for giving me this opportunity. And I would like to thank Dr. C. Ramesh, sir, and Dr. Satish, sir, for organizing this event in a wonderful manner. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Namaste.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.